Hi all. Now that it's been about 6 months that I bought the Xpulse 200 BS6 version, which is a fuel injected one. Anyways, BS6 doesn't have the carbureted version. I thought I'll do a ownership review. I'll start off with what made me buy the bike, how my opinion changed after I bought the bike about what it does and what it is not for. And then I'll talk about what's good about the bike and what's not good, what's not so good about the bike. So let's start off with it. I've used Yamaha YBX 125, and then I've used a Yamaha FZ16, the very first version. So I've been a all-round Yamaha guy before I shifted to this Xpulse 200. At first, the main reason why I bought the Xpulse 200 is because of its seating posture. When you sit on it, you sit very upright, and your stand is very straight, your back is straight, and very less load on your arms when you ride long. I have been to Ladakh in year 2009. I've done the entire South India bike ride in year 2010. So that was on my FZ. So I thought it's high time I go ahead and buy a bike which is good for touring, rather than taking out a city bike onto the highways and tour long. I've done the Saddle Sore 1600 in year 2013 too. This is not a tourer, believe me. It's absolutely not a tourer. You can't carry a saddle bag because of the exhaust, which sits very high, and the bike is really tall. It's actually an adventure bike, not a tourer. But the reason why I picked it up is for the sole purpose of touring. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the reason why I chose Xpulse 200. I'll tell you what changed after I bought this bike, how my opinion changed. It doesn't have a top speed of what people expect it to have. It's a 200cc and it struggles to go beyond 120, and you'll start to feel the vibrations beyond 80 kmph. It really, I mean, you can really feel the vibrations on the foot pegs as well as on the hard handlebar, really hard. I mean, it's adventure bike. When you say it's an adventure bike, it's built for low end grunt, to pull you out of the gravel, mud, slush, and not for a highway tour. It's not built, the engine is not tuned for it. But you'll really feel good about how high you sit and how relaxed your hands are on the handlebar. I have done like 600 kilometers in a day on this, and the hands, the shoulders, and the back really feels stress-free. But then when you think about carrying luggage, I mean, it's very I can say impractical to carry a saddle bag. All you can do is carry a top bag that sits over here. It's got nice rubber if you take these off, you get holes to screw up your top bag. So that's one good thing about it. When you come to talk about the quality, I would say Hero needs to really get the quality up. I'll show you something over here. So this is the gear lever, and look at this. This is all the paint job coming out, and that's the rust showing up. And you don't expect that just a 6 months old vehicle to show up so much of rust. Absolutely not. I mean, and I stay at a place where the humidity is very low. So if this is the kind of rust that shows up on a bike in this condition, then I wonder how it would be if I stay at a very humid place. So and the vehicle being Hero's top end bike, I mean, I don't expect this kind of quality. And there's one thing that I've seen which is bad with this bike. I don't know if people with other Xpulses are facing it. At very low RPMs, the engine just gets cut off. The ECU just kills the engine, and I've fallen once or twice because of that. Because when you're doing a low RPM turn, and if the engine gets killed, then you just can't control the bike. I mean, it just dies on you. So that's one thing that I've seen extremely bad about it, because I don't see that happening on my FZ or on my any of my old bikes. So that's one thing I've seen few of the guys uploading on Facebook too, about the ECU killing the engine at very low RPMs. That's one thing that I think Hero needs to check at. So I would conclude with this, that if you want to buy an Xpulse, it's amazingly good bike when it comes to comfort of sitting. The seat is hard, so I'm not talking about the comfort when it comes to the seat, but the sitting posture. You sit upright, your handlebars are well aligned to your body. I mean, you don't feel any stress on your arms or on your shoulders or on your back. That's just too good. But the stance is very high, so I being 5 feet 8 inches, my feet hardly touches the ground on both sides. So that's one thing you need to look at. And if you don't tend to carry a saddlebag, then you can use that as a tourer too. But then you can't expect high speed engine refinements. The engine is tuned as an adventure tourer, so you'll feel the power mostly delivered at the low end, and at the high end the engine really struggles. It will take you to 115 120 kmph. There are people who have driven at 127 kmph too. I have hit 125, but that's when you have wind coming from pushing you from the back. So if not 115, and that too with high vibrations on your foot pegs and at your handlebars, you would be struggling. You would start to feel the vibrations beyond 80 kmph. That's one thing that you need to look at if you are buying it as a tourer. You can take it to the hills, you can just throw it around. It's amazing. It's got ABS at the front. It doesn't have a ABS at the rear, because adventure bikes don't come with an ABS at the back. Even if it comes with an ABS, that's something that you would be able to turn it off, but this doesn't have an ABS at the rear. That's because adventure tourers are used to slide into corners, and if there is an ABS, you would not be able to slide it into the corners. So this has got no ABS at the back. So when you are riding high speeds on the highways, please be sure that you have it in the mind that it's got no ABS at the rear and it might slide. And I've faced it multiple times. And about the headlights are a full LED, and it doesn't have an LED bulb inside the headlight assembly. It's got LED lights built into the assembly, so you would not be able to change the LED bulb. If you have to go for a change, then you will have to remove the entire headlight assembly. So I didn't want to change that. I went for aux light, which is from Mad Dog. That's pretty good. But the stock headlight that comes with the bike is pathetic. You would not be able to have any good visibility. If you are someone who rides little above 60 kmph, then you would have to go for better headlights. There are multiple headlight assemblies that people are shifting to. you can search for that in YouTube and just go for it. That's my opinion on the Xpulse 200. I would not say it's a great bike, but it's a good one to have it with you. That's it. Nothing more. You can leave in your comments your opinions in the comments below. I would try my best to reply.